Back with us on the SportsMax Zone, middle order batsman Shimron Hetmeyer will have to regain the early form he showed in the maroon colours and impress selectors in order to regain that white ball contract. Hetmeyer, who has had a wretched run of form, was included in the recently announced T20 squad. Now, speaking on Line and Length TV with Barry Wilkinson, the Windies white ball captain Kieron Pollard spoke about the things he thinks the Guyanese can do to improve.
We all love Hettie. He's a young, talented, sort of cricketer. A guy who we know deep in our hearts can take, West Indies cricket forward. A couple other guys from a generational point of view in terms of his skill and what he can achieve on the cricket field. Outside of that, I would safely say that, Hettie knows exactly what is needed, for him to be, on the team and on the squad. And, a lot of moments have been going around about the Hettie. But he knows the truth and he knows exactly what it is, right? As I said before, as I stated firstly, we love Hettie and we love Hettie to be in all three formats of our cricket. But as the saying goes, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force them to drink. So with that being said, I will leave it right there and leave it to the individual, himself, to get things together and also get him playing for West Indies in all three formats. As I said, we love him. We want to have him. He has a fantastic record from an ODI perspective. T20 cricket, we see what he could have done recently, what he did in the IPL. And it's just for him to take exactly what's in front of him. The world is at his feet, as if he wants it bad enough and what he wants to achieve, as an individual.
Yep, that's the big skipper Kieron Pollard talking about Shimron Hetmeyer. A lot has been said about Shimron Hetmeyer and the fact that he has not been given a retainer contract for the white ball game. And I'm among a group of voices that is saying, what's so wrong with the decision by Cricket West Indies? It's not as if there were 50 retainer contract places available and they chose to only give them to 18 players and in doing so omit Hetmeyer from the list. So you have 32 more places you could have filled because you have the space to do that. Yeah. You chose to give only 18 and Hetmeyer is not there. So obviously the omission of Hetmeyer is a vexatious issue. They had 18 places, they filled it with these men, and they're saying to Hetmeyer, go and do better. Is there anybody saying that Hetmeyer should not go and become even better than he has been? And forget being better. What about being consistent? I think a message is being sent and it is up to Hetmeyer to work and get back into the team. People are making it look like it's a terminal decision. Hetmeyer will never again get a retainer contract, and I'm peeved.
Exactly, and you heard from the captain himself, Kieron Pollard, speaking about that we all like Hetmeyer, so it's not an issue of us chastising him. We like him. We think he is a good youth. We think that, he has the potential, and once he does what he has to do, he will be what we expect of him. I think, when numbers are concerned, Hetmeyer has to improve that, as well as, we have a lot of people coming out and talking that, them not opting to play, of course, had a massive part to play, in the decision, because you had to play a couple, a certain amount of games in order to be eligible for a contract. So it's not as if people are saying that's it, it's not done and dusted. But again, it starts with taking personal responsibility as a player, showing us that you're willing to work. A simple thing as, showing up for games, Yes, we understand that we're in a pandemic and it's difficult, but how can you qualify for a contract if you haven't met the simple requirement of, playing a certain number of games?
Well, I think if I listen to Pollard correctly, I think he's moving past, the debate of whether he should have gotten a contract or not.
Yeah.
I think the issue here is people recognize the talent he has. And I think Polly hit the nail on the head. He and the lead selector, Roger Harper, mentioned it as well. He spoke about focus and gave clear indications that they feel that Hetmeyer is not as focused as he needs to be. Now, Pollard said something in that comment that we just heard that I agree with 100%. And I said it on this show, and you and George didn't agree with me. But he is of a quality that he should be playing Test cricket.
No,
now, based on his performances, we know he shouldn't, based on what he has done. But this is a young man who, when they had the under-19 three-day tournament alongside the one-day tournament, he excelled in the red ball game. in his early years for Guyana, he also did well with the red ball game. So we know the quality he has. So I think what Pollard is saying is that we know the quality that Hetmeyer has. It is up to Hetmeyer to start delivering that quality so that the West Indies cricket team can benefit from his ability, because what we're seeing now from Hetmeyer is probably 40% of what he has inside of him based on talent.
And that's the point. I can't remember myself saying that Hetmeyer doesn't deserve to play Test cricket, Lance. I think the only reason I would say something like that is based on his performances. You know, we talk about quality and we talk about potential and everything, but when these selectors make decisions, it's based on numbers. So I can recognize how much potential a person has, but if you don't come to the party when I need you to, there's no way that you're going to be selected. We don't pick based on what I what I believe in you and how much I think you can do. I'm picking you based on what you actually do.
Yeah. This conversation was sparked by people complaining about Hettie not getting a white ball contract, which is why Barry Wilkinson asked Pollard to comment, and of course the skipper made the very sensible comments and observations that he did. The fact of Hetmeyer and Test cricket, look, Hetmeyer as an individual demonstrably prefers the white ball game. In the white ball game, there's an issue with Hetmeyer's focus. There's an issue with Hetmeyer's concentration and Hetmeyer's commitment to putting himself in position to deliver on his talent in the format of the game that he seeks to prefer. With that as the case, I can entertain no argument about Hetmeyer and the Test cricket. And I can entertain no argument with about what Hetmeyer did as a junior in the red ball game, because what he did in the junior ranks with the red ball is history.
I said senior as well. When he started out for Guyana, he played red ball cricket for Guyana.
So why has he not played red ball cricket for Guyana beyond that point? Because
West Indies duties. Well, West Indies duties would have been part of it.
But it's not all West Indies duties, because it's not every time that Guyana has a red ball tournament. So I'm sure you'll agree with me that he clearly prefers the white ball game. So all I'm saying is this. Hetmeyer's talent is not in question. I've never heard anybody question whether Hetmeyer could bat. But there are questions legitimately about the gentleman's focus and his commitment to giving his talent the best platform to shine. There have been, there are, and there will be far inferior talents to Shimron Hetmeyer who will have a better career. That always saddens me, because there should be nobody with lesser talent than Shimron Hetmeyer who should achieve more. So it's a principle of focus. And if anybody who wants to understand what focus is, watch the movie John Wick and listen to the father of the villain in the first John Wick movie talk about what focus is. And if Shimron can find focus, we wouldn't be using valuable TV time talking about Shimron not getting a retainer contract for white ball cricket.
Yeah, well, I think that is really what it is. And I am saying that the authorities in West Indies cricket and people who care about Shimron Hetmeyer need to encourage him and have a chat with him. He's still only 24 years old. And you heard the white ball captain say it. He says he feels he can contribute in the red ball game. I don't know what it will take for him to become focused, but quite frankly, I think he's a better batsman than John Campbell. And John Campbell is the person opening for the West Indies right now with Craig Brathwaite. So on that score alone, I'm saying that someone needs to help Hetmeyer resuscitate his career to the benefit of West Indies cricket.
I read a quote on SportsMax.tv saying from Kieron Pollard, you can only, you can't force a horse to drink water, you can only take them to the water. And I think that sums it up. That sums it up. You can't force him. He has to want it.
Hetmeyer's problems are his own doing. I'm not disputing that at all. I'm just saying that he has the sort of quality that will benefit West Indies cricket if the quality is displayed.
When? Good.